Hey guys, it's Morgan Zegers, and what do you know? The anti-science leftist tyrannical leaders in America are using the Russian invasion into Ukraine to quietly pull back from their pointless and unpopular COVID mandates. The invasion is providing them the perfect distraction that they needed to make sure they don't get too much bad PR from having to admit that their dictatorship over our lives for the last 2 years was not only incredibly intrusive into our lives and livelihoods, and it infringed on our rights, but they were also, get this, completely ineffective. The CDC admitted that these mandates, that these restrictions had basically zero effect on preventing the spread of the virus. Since all they really care about is poll numbers for the upcoming midterm elections, now that the polls are looking really bad for them because of their terrible leadership during the pandemic, they are seriously, with a straight face, telling us that the science has changed. And that's why they're pulling back the mandates. But don't let them fool you. The science did not change. The science has been very clear from pretty early on. In all reality, it was the polls that changed. It was the voters that changed. The voters changed their views of the politicians once they began to realize how destructive they were to our lives, our children's lives, and our country. Instead of pulling back a long time ago like they should have, let's be clear, that should have happened a long time ago, these evil politicians punished us even more and called us grandma killers for not wearing masks and social distancing, or refusing to shut our businesses down, or asking for our children to not be forced to breathe into wet cloths for 8 hours a day in school, or I don't know, for daring to even ask if our children could maybe possibly go physically into a classroom for a school building we pay taxes for during their most important developmental years of their lives, instead of staring for 8 hours at a laptop screen on Zoom. And when the punishment for not following these recommendations didn't work, they moved to straight force via bureaucratic mandates, and it was sick. Well, now they have begun to walk back their anti-science ways, and just in time for the midterms. We will start to see them claim that because of their efforts, we beat the virus. All positive messaging from here on out, okay? According to them and their upcoming propaganda, it'll be like the last 2 years basically never happened. But that means it's up to us to not let them distract us from what they are doing and distort history in their favor like they will now try to do. But of course, it gets even worse with this outrageousness. Now, even though they're pulling back on the requirements, the White House website suggests that we socially distance at 6 feet apart and wear a mask in case a nuke hits America because of the weak leadership of Joe Biden. You really cannot make this stuff up.